Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. I am here on a bit of a late night because I've been running around all day. So I just want to give a disclaimer that the energies hit a bit different at night, as any reader knows. So that's just a bit of a disclaimer. Have no idea where the message is going today, but we're going to find out together. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. All right, well, that's a good place to start. Three of Cups, celebration, reunion, collaboration. Yeah, that's good vibrations right there. That's good vibrations. So let's see where we go with that in the highest form, of course. Always giving provision for what could be less than, but that's a lie. I'm not gonna take that out the gate. Hope you're having a great Friday or had a great Friday at this point. Getting ready for the holiday weekend, whatever that looks like for you, if it is a holiday weekend for you. And here where we are, or where I am in the US of A, it's Labor Day weekend. So there's that. All right, so we have, and I just wanted to say, I was out and about today and I really was a little bit apprehensive about going out because I thought I was going to kind of run into, the Labor Day preparation crowd, but it was pleasantly surprisingly mild. People were not out and about. It was very calm. I don't know, it was just really strange. I don't know if everybody here headed to the shore or if people just aren't doing it like they used to do, which I can totally understand because I don't do it like I used to do. I try to get in and out of stores on off-peak times, usually not even on the weekend when I know nobody else is really out and about. But today I had to move around, and I gotta say it was pretty quiet out. So anyway, we got the Hierophant, the Magician, the Four of Wands. Okay, also good energy. So what's this talking about? All right, the Hierophant. Hold on. All right, let me settle my spirit a little bit. The Hierophant is about, it could be about religious structures or organized institutions of sorts. It could also be a teacher, but it definitely is someone or something that assumes a higher position of authority or leadership. That's the Hierophant. And I believe it's more or less Taurus energy, which I think before I misspoke and said it was Capricorn. But I think that's Taurus. Then we got the Magician, which is Gemini energy, I believe, and definitely Gemini here. The Magician energy is about manifestation. Okay, hold up now. All right. So also the Hierophant can be marriage, and commitment can also be breakthrough. So someone is manifesting a breakthrough in commitment and in some type of united front, whether it be in a relationship, in business, in creativity with the Four of Wands card. So this is definitely pretty dope. And it's coming by way of this Nine of Cups, which if we can take it at face value for what it is, this is wish fulfillment. Someone that is spiritually, emotionally fulfilled, that has acquired some level of satisfaction from his energetic investments to be sustained from a spiritual perspective. There's not much to be desired in the highest vibration of the Nine of Cups. It can, in the lowest vibration, it can be overindulgence. But with the Hierophant, the Magician, and the Four Wands, right now is looking good. And then we had the Three of Cups, that's celebration. yeah, so there's some, maybe perhaps an encouragement to be in celebration, for something that is coming together, it's been ordained here, or it's going to be solidified. And yeah, because this is like stability, so it's going to be solidified. It's just not, a relationship that's fleeting per se. This is something of substance, and something sustainable, because the Four of Wands is about stability, maybe even in the home as it already is. So maybe if this is a couple that's already together, or you're in a relationship, this could be someone looking to manifest a higher commitment or take things to a new level. And it's very masculine here with the Magician and the Hierophant. So if you're the feminine, you could not be aware of, yeah, like, okay, he's very satisfied with whatever the exchange of energy is between himself and the object of affection, whomever that may be, assuming it may be you, or masculine, take it as it resonates. But there's some satisfaction here with the Nine of Cups. Like, all he needs is just that one more cup to get to the 10, and that's the fullest wish fulfillment, happily ever after. So it's telling me that there's someone that has their eye objectively on a union that they've identified as something very serious, or that has the potential to be life-changing with the Magician card, that maybe is magical in essence, and that they want to solidify with a very very serious commitment here. That's amazing. That's really cool. And then the Magician here. Okay. I'm just trying to feel the energy for a second. Yeah, and I would say that, well, we'll keep going. We'll see what else comes up. But, the feminine, you may not be aware of this, or whomever is on, somebody's plotting and planning, and literally manifesting this outcome. So that there's some actual, there's mental energy invested in this. There's emotional investment here, but there's something actual and practical that's being put into place to solidify this union. Maybe someone is getting a house together, like literally getting their house in order, or is, preparing a home or some stability. That's what they're doing. They're preparing some means of stability, so that there's nothing left to be desired. They're already sure of where they are in terms of the emotional status of it all. There's some manifestation that's happening, some focus on creating stability in a material sense, in an energetic sense. So there's actually something stable and grounding for the two to cohabitate in, and it could just be an energetic sense, literally just getting some affairs in order, so that, all the boxes are checked, and, doing everything that needs to be done to be in a position to be committed and devoted to a union. But it could actually be an actual home, which I think is super cool. Like, who does that anymore? A man actually preparing a home ahead of time, as opposed to couples usually coming together and, purchasing some space, or, it's dope. It's cool. Okay. We got we got the Five of Swords, which is someone, let's see. Five of Swords. Let me get another one. That's too many. Five of Swords. I'm not going to make the assumption just yet, but we know what the Five of Swords is generally. Okay. Yeah, so there could be some outside expectation, or, intention for interference, to block this thing coming together. But the Temperance card here, you know, maybe someone even on the masculine, from the masculine side or perspective, is trying to bring this to an end or trying to be some type of obstruction to his intentions, is what I see. But he's so focused, yeah, like he sees this feminine as such high value that there's nothing more to be convinced about. You know, like he knows that this is next to the Empress, this is the most high value, most, you know, this is like quality cream of the crop right here. Queen of Pentacles. She's already stable and secure in her own right. She's willing to be committed. She's marriage material. You know, commitment is a part of her vocabulary, and she also is very nurturing, very grounded, practical in the ways that she needs to be, but also has great potential to multiply in a material sense, meaning she can make money and also knows how to maintain. You know, it's like that's one of the great aspects that he's observing of this particular object of affection, so that this energy here that would look to be an obstruction is already defeated. Like maybe someone's trying to get in his head last minute, like, no, that ain't it. You know, it could be someone close to him that's trying to basically psychologically manipulate all the reasons why he should reconsider, or why it might not work, or why maybe he's not ready for commitment, or there's still more that needs to be done, or maybe she's not the ideal partner, when it's like, this is the Queen of Pentacles. What more do you need from a woman that don't need nothing, literally, but is open to the value of commitment and co-creation and procreation, in a sense. Like that's all in her repertoire, that's all in her vocabulary, but she's still secure and stable, even if it's just energetically so, with these pentacles, that she's not necessarily in a codependent place. You know, this is not a woman that needs a man to give her security. This is one that just appreciates the added value of a partnership, you know, of a partner, you know, and values devotion altogether. So nothing on the out. That's why it's the Five of Swords, because it's already defeated. And not only is it defeated from a physical perspective or mental perspective here, with anyone that's looking to kind of object, literally, like, are there any objections? Yeah, this energy has an objection here. Who knows what place of importance or connection that energy holds, but it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, because the Temperance card is here, signifying that this person is so balanced and sure of his decision. There's nothing you can do to sway this energy. Like he's already weighed the pros and the cons, you know, back to that Nine of Cups. He's weighed the pros and the cons energetically and spiritually in love already. He's considered his past experiences at this point and has measured the potential of this commitment and this love. Well, really of how he feels. That's what I hear. He's measured. Perhaps that Nine of Cups is like consideration of experience and love, you know, that he's been there and done that in some way, shape, or form, good, bad, and different, that he's weighed the possibilities of to have or not to have this love in his life, and he's already made the choice here to be committed and to go after, or to make preparations to cultivate this commitment in some way, shape, or form. So this energy, anything to being obstructive to, yeah, I saw the Seven of Swords. Anything that's positioning itself to be an obstructive force is already dead in the water. Yeah, judgment, decision made, final decision. equal give and take, that this situation that he's observing is balanced, that he, and as a matter of fact, wow, this is so dope, this is amazing. Already made a final decision with the judgment card. Okay, we got the death transformation, putting an end perhaps to, as I slid it up here to the Five of Swords, like he's calling judgment even, and putting an end to perhaps these obstructive forces in his life. Anyone that's not in support for the decision that he's made, that's throwing him off balance or out of balance, is ultimately being released. That's what I feel off of that, because his decision is so strong. He realizes how much this relationship calls him to his higher self, and he feels a call from the divine to act on this decision that's already been, made clear in his heart. It's already been made clear, and now he's had the cosign of the divine to say, yes, this is ordained. You have the blessing of heaven to do so. Make preparations as you see fit. And this is equal give and take, because he identifies himself as someone that wants to be of added value to whomever this object of affection is. Like the Six of Pentacles can definitely be, about, as I said, give and take, gift giving. It can be about the have and the have-nots in a sense, but it's more so about, recognizing the cycle of life, and that, sometimes we're in the position to be the givers, and sometimes we're in the position where we need support. And there's a balance, an evolving balance between, an ever-evolving balance between those energies, and that you should always be looking to be in the position to be of help and of service to others, because you never know when you might actually be on the end where you might be the one in need. So this is someone that's benevolent in their perspectives in life. They're not stingy at all. They feel a certain satisfaction in giving, and maybe not unto everyone, but when they feel a draw to give or to help or to be of service, they do so. It's a part of their repertoire, part of their lifestyle, and they are recognizing this particular object of affection as someone that they want to be of value to, like upgrade, the Queen of Pentacles, as if she couldn't be upgraded enough. If he can, which is why there's this focus here on creating stability, because I'm feeling like he doesn't want to give any reason for dissatisfaction. Just like he's content in his Nine of Cups, he wants this partner of his to be so content with the life that he's investing in creating for the two of them, that there's not much to be desired elsewhere. Not in a diabolical sense where he's trying to possess or captivate her by, manipulation. This is just someone that is just committed to being, what's the word I'm looking for? I keep saying added value, but it's something else, to just being an asset to her life, being an asset, being of true value to her life, because he recognizes her as being so precious in some way, shape, or form, that not only does he not want to diminish that in any way or deflect from that value, he wants it to be clear that he's coming to bring more to the table. This is someone that wants to take care. This is that man. He wants to be able to make her dreams come true. He wants her to be as fulfilled as he is in the Nine of Cups, in whatever home he's creating, or whatever stability, whatever stable life or environment he's building. He wants her to be satisfied there. You know, he wants her to find it to be sanctuary with the Hierophant card. He wants it there to be balance. You know, he wants, and this is just coupling off of this equal give and take here. He wants there to be a synergy between them where he realizes, you know, just as much as he has to offer, but he it's because he sees the value of what she's bringing to the table as well. You know, it's not just some man that just wants to be a sugar daddy per se, but it's somebody that's like, man, you know, this girl's got this and that. You know, she's smart. She's a good mother, because that's definitely an aspect of or at least has great motherly qualities or potential, like someone that he could see being the mother of his kids with the Queen of Pentacles, someone that he would be feel that he could trust with even material assets, someone that's responsible, perhaps that's grounded in her energy state. You know, she's not just flying off the handle doing anything, you know, over aggressive. You know, the Queen of Pentacles also doesn't mind being taken care of in some way, shape, or form. That she's one of those energies that definitely is willing to receive. But again, it's not in a way that is codependent or needy, you know, where she's just always got her hand out either. It's just the perfect balance in his eyes. So he wants to bring a continuation of balance and peace and prosperity. And these, you know, this Temperance card here is not just speaking about his intentions, but it's also speaking about the divine anointing over this union is what I hear. You know, that there's a certain angelic presence of protection over this commitment, you know, based on each individual's. You know, this Four of Wands is about two individuals that have had to overcome some great trial or charge in their lives to even become a match for anything stable and committed. You know, this is not two people that are just looking to have a good time and happen to stumble upon each other. These are two people that have positioned themselves to attract love in the highest frequency. And the universe, the source of all, you know, has honored that, you know, has honored that devotion to divine alignment in self, and is protecting it in the sense that, you know, from anything that would try to stand against it, it's dead on arrival, pretty much. It's dead on arrival, honey. All right, let's just get a few more. I like the vibe of this, but I actually am a little bit tired, so I'm not going to stay in too long. And I thank you, Spirit, because, you know, I didn't know what I was in for. I know how the night vibes go, but this is definitely unexpected and a sweet little turn from the norm. So in my mind, I kind of wanted to do a love reading, but I wasn't trying to force it, you know, like never that. Okay, King of Swords. Yeah, this is him in his most upright. This is him. This is an honorable man of valor here. The Queen of this guy that I'm talking about, you know, that's so intentional about building this union. This is somebody. First of all, this is a confirmation of what I'm even saying. Is this the Ace of Swords right here? Oh no, that was the Hangman. Someone that's waited for enlightenment, and the Page of Swords that he's just eyeing the opportunity to jump in there. Well, it could be twofold. It could be people eyeing the opportunity to try again to stop and block some shit, maybe perhaps collaboratively so. But this could also be this King of Swords who's just looking for the perfect opportunity to make this offer, or to make, you know, to advance ultimately. He's already been in a place where he searched alignment, enlightenment as to whether or not this is the thing for him, this is it's go time. Or perhaps there may still be a pause for the cause, as he's kind of watching and waiting, as I said, still in this place where he's preparing. There could be that too. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, this man is focused on the prize. He got his eyes on the prize. And the prize is this feminine and the commitment and life that they get to build together. So no matter how long it could possibly take, temperance is patience. So perhaps there's still some clearing that needs to happen, or that is happening as we speak, as I speak, that's clearing out these vibrations of obstruction and obstinance, objection. Perhaps maybe that's the time that's been taken to clear that out. Yeah, people that are looking from the sidelines, still trying to keep them stuck in this one place of solitude and singlehood for their own ulterior motives, obviously, because why would you interject into someone that's so serious about another person? What would be the purpose? Unless you have your own ulterior motive or objective or some reason for keeping this person stuck, which I definitely get that vibe here with the Three of Pentacles. There's some collaborative, this is in the darkest vibration, mind you. There's some collaborative energy here that has an invested interest in keeping somebody stuck, stagnant, and out of commitment. Whether they got their eye on his energy, spiritually or materially, or his attention, just, haters, with the Five of Swords, just jealous, not wanting to see somebody be balanced and not wanting to see love in its purest form, honestly, not wanting to see a stable home and a commitment, maybe because they didn't have it, or didn't have didn't have it to the desire of their heart, their objective. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm tired. But the Five of Swords is basically jealousy. It's definitely jealousy and looking to one up somebody, to win at all costs, like to psychologically distract the in this case the so-called enemy, but as he sees the enemy to be, and it's two people in the background. So it's not necessarily like this couple isn't an enemy of his. It's just a matter of how he's positioned himself to be an obstructive force against them. Again, usually for some low vibrational spiritual motivation, i.e. jealousy and envy, just hating pretty much. But again, what it also signifies is defeat. So no matter what, as long as my man keeps his eye on the prize and he stays in divine alignment and waits for the moment that is, the moment that is spoken to him energetically, intuitively as to what needs to happen next. The King of Swords is also one that is very final in his decision making. This being more or less, King of Swords is what? It can't be any of the air signs. It could be Libra. It could be Aquarius, right? It could be Gemini, but not so much. It's more so Aquarius, I believe, where there's a fixation on, there's just a knowing, and there's a very definite decision making. It could be Aries, so it could also be Libra, though, for some reason that's pulling on my energy real hard. But ultimately, it could be any air sign. It could be. But either way, with the King of Swords, he wields the sword of truth, which means that in his highest vibration, he knows exactly what he wants. Once he's made a final decision, here, clarifying the Judgment card, he is very direct about it. He's no nonsense. He's not going to allow anybody to deter him or sway him differently. He might actually cut you with the sword if you try to push too hard. So you better be careful. And he is one that is very highly intelligent. So the reason why he can be so certain is because he trusts himself to make wise decisions, and he sat with it. Usually with the King of Swords, he sat with it long enough to be sure. He's already weighed the pros and cons, especially if it's Libra energy. My God, they weigh the pros and cons 1,000 times over before they make a decision. But when they make a decision, it's a strong decision, and there's nothing anybody can tell you, good, bad, or indifferent, about that decision. So again, it's just really clarifying the focus from the very beginning of all of this, is that he's focused. You know, it's nothing more that can be said or done or interjected. It's just all a matter of divine time and allowing things to play out. Because the other thing about this, clarifying all the angelic force that's in support of this union and the higher realms and all of that good stuff, is that the Three of Pentacles can also be a collaboration for exaltation. You know, so I sometimes see it as forces collaborating in your favor or for you, you know, unbeknownst to you, you know. So although there might be obstructive collaborations that are trying to position themselves to resist, there are also just as many, if not more, that are positioning themselves to support this, especially when you got the Hierophant here. You got the insistence of a man who knows his power with the Magician and is certain, you know, about his look where his hand is pointing, down to this union here that has the support of his higher self, his higher being, the forces of spirit that he submits to. You know, that there is a submission to a higher spirit, which is already amazing in itself, that there's been the intention of calling in that intel to be sure and certain about the answer and the directive, and that it's already, the judgment call has not already been made and ordained in the heavens, but also on the earth by the King himself. It's a done deal. Like, congratulations. Let me know when the wedding is. And here's the death card again, because the death still, I feel like it's just solidifying that two things, that this union is transformational, and that it's going to be something that is going to ultimately change the course of both of these individuals' lives. Whomever is in this commitment, that's why there's so much divine protection. That's why there's so much anointing, so much decision already made in heaven and in earth about it, because it's something about this union that is going to make a drastic impact universally. You know, this is something that's going to literally cause transformation. Like, look, like I was saying, this Three of Pentacles is spirit working for you. And also what I see in the Three of Cups, which is where we started, that celebration card, sometimes I see that as the angelic realms in celebration for your progress, for your presence even, you know, for the fact that you've been listening to the guidance, that you've been following your inner light, that you've been, you know, walking in the way of truth. There's something to be celebrated about that in the heavenly realms, because we are the forces that allow the angelic realms to activate through us, you know, that can get shit done through our hands and through our minds and, you know, our spirits present in the earth realm. And that's the energy that's needed. You know, imagine the more couples that are in divine alignment, you know, that have ultimately surrendered themselves to their highest spiritual nature and then come together. That's the ultimate power couple. That energy is going to change the world. That's what it's set to do. And that's why there's been such great trial and tribulation on account of those that even aspire to that level of commitment and love, because there had to be a trial by fire to really test the spirit, to see if you would be willing to withstand the wiles of the world that ultimately are, in the most constructed forms, pardon me, in conventional forms, are looking to block and stop those commitments, because two people that are in alignment together are an unstoppable force. You got two people that are completely sovereign and independent now coming together to build a sovereign and independent union. That's something, that's literally bringing the presence of heaven into earth. There's much that the spirit can do through two committed beings in that way that would even be hard to be done with just one, because there's this support and security and stability that's there, so that, when you have someone that has your back and you have theirs, there's a certain elevation and exaltation, as I said, with the Three of Pentacles, of life force that you just can't duplicate otherwise. When the person you wake up to every day has your best interest at heart and you can trust them with your life, you can literally move mountains with that level of security and stability. And then the two of you together, literally transforming the world as we know it. That's what it's set to do. And by way of the co-creation that comes out of this commitment, in a physical sense, in a spiritual sense, and in every way, shape, and form, but also consider the evolution of the DNA of what they co-create, or procreate rather, together. Their children are going to be more highly vibrational and living on a higher frequency than perhaps even they were, from what they've overcome to get to that point. Consider your children won't have any idea of the trials and tribulations that even now, at our lowest points, they don't know most of the trials and tribulations that we've gone through the same way, because it's a different time, and we have learned from certain things, and we pass on our lessons, hopefully, with the best intentions. We pass on those lessons to our kids so that we can shave the learning curve for them. Imagine that to the 100th power, with two people that know exactly who they're ordained to be, who they're called to be, and they're living and walking in that calling. They teach their children from a young age to surrender to spirit, and not having to learn that, say, for myself, 30 years into life, maybe a little less than that, but still ultimately so, to really start to master self, at late 20s, 30s, to finally start to get it, like, oh, this is what I'm here for. And I would say, yeah, about 30-ish and on, that our children could come out knowing exactly what they're ordained to do and be, and start to walk in that way from the moment that they can walk. That literally transforms the DNA of this realm to something extremely exalted and elevated, and it brings in when we're vessels of this energy of temperance, this peace and prosperity, and literally living in the energy of the magician, where we know that we have the power to create anything that we put our minds to, and you don't have to learn that by trial and error. It's like the more that energy is procreated, meaning from our children and then their children and then their children and so on and so forth, that starts to become the more highly populated species, as opposed to the evolution of the lower frequencies that are populating like rabbits, so it feels and so it seems, continuing on those cycles of trauma and toxicity. Each generation has a propensity to just pass that down, even if it's just in the muscle memory of it all, because not everybody is willing to do the work to transcend those traumas, you know? So these are two people that have done the work, have been ordained to be to occupy high positions of creative authority in some way, shape, and form. Whatever they do, it's got the blessing of heaven upon it. It doesn't even matter really what they do, but it does indicate that what they do is in alignment with their true passion. So that's even more of an elevation, because when you're doing the things that you love with the people that you love in the places that you love to be, you know, like, consider the vibration of that when you're doing things that you absolutely love to do just on a day-to-day basis. Consider how you feel when you're doing that, and how much how creative you are when you're operating in that field. You know, how much you want to invest in that energy, how you can ultimately do something that you love for hours and hours, and potentially even for free, because it's just as satisfying to you spiritually as it is productive creatively. That's the vibration of the earth that we are all collectively being called to elevate. And it may start with one, it may start with two, it may start with the family, it may start with you. I sure hope so. On a day like today, where this energy is just so sincere. You know, I definitely claim it for you, for me, for anyone. And this doesn't have to necessarily be intimate love. It could be professionally, it could be platonically. It could be, as I said, a relationship you're already in, you know, in the highest vibration, or something that is transforming in a sense, you know, that it's been protected, it's maybe been through a test and a trial and a tribulation, and you've both been very insistent on being in devotion to yourselves and to one another, and committed to evolving the creativity of your union one way or another. Maybe you are starting a business, maybe you're expanding your legacy, you know, maybe one is changing directions and another is called to support, you know, whatever the synergy may be. This is definitely, you know, if you feel like it resonates, it's definitely a great sign that you're elevating to the next level, whether you tangibly experience it right here, right now, or not. This is definitely the promise of that. And it's very, also very promising that it's the masculine energy that's so insistent and focused on leading the charge. Because as women, you know, we always got our bright ideas as to how we can get to the next level. But it's something about this being led by masculine energy. And it, as I always like to say, we're talking about masculine energy. There's always a balance in relationships. So it could be woman to woman, man to man, man and woman, whatever it is, whatever you are, whatever you aspire to be. Whomever occupies that balance of the one who's more proactive, you know, a little bit more dominant, takes a little more charge in the relationship, or whatever that yin and yang dynamic is in your relationships. It's something to be said about the masculine vibration being willing and able and committed to fully operating in the highest of his capacity. You know, that level of security and stability being grounded, you know, so that the feminine aspect can just be who she naturally is. You know, a masculine operating in the form that he was designed to do so. He or she was designed to do so. A feminine operating in the form as such as well is a great synergy of stability here, where nobody's stepping on the other's toes. It's not so much about role playing and things like that, but it's about there being balance, you know, in the love, in the commitment, in the connection, so that nobody's in competition. Nobody's trying to wear two hats. Nobody's feeling like they got to carry the load for the other. Nobody's feeling unprotected. Nobody's feeling misguided. Nobody's feeling uninspired. There's just more than enough for all, here with this temperance card. The balance is pure. And where there's maybe where one is lacking, the other picks up the slack and vice versa. That's a beautiful union. And we can't have enough of it in this world that we're in today. That's what's here to be a transformative force. And I don't see this as the death of anything except for these energies that are trying to destroy it, to destroy this evolution and this coming together. Those energies are, as it is here, right here, facing their own demise, because the spirit has said so, that now is the time for the evolution of true love and divine devotion and the physical expression of such to be elevated for all to see and for all to know, so that there is no excuse as to what you believe is possible. That everyone will have some example of this fullest life experience that's available to them, and will hopefully aspire to have some version of it for themselves. And again, what will that do? But continue to transform and evolve the collective consciousness in the most creative way universally, so that we're all ascending on one accord together. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Couldn't have asked for a more promising read. Okay, so on that note, hope you're having have wonderful plans for the weekend, or just to chill, relax. I know that's probably what I'll be doing for the most part, just taking it easy. I'll probably come back with something lighthearted tomorrow on Saturday. But in the meantime, I definitely wish you all the best for this weekend and for the holiday coming up. Stay safe, stay sound, and definitely stay optimistic about the great potentials and possibilities over your life, as it's been expressed here in one shape or another. There has to be something that you can take away to keep you in hope and faith for your future. All right. And in any event, as always, I leave you with peace.